Yeah. Hey guys, what's up? It's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. So, good evening, everyone. I wanted to come on and just kind of do a nightly wrap up, and I also wanted to thank everyone who came to the Matt support group meeting tonight. After I got off the live stream with you guys, I just I just started bawling my eyes out, of course, because I'm just a freaking emotional person. But I've never had that many people on a live stream before, and it just made me so happy that it was for that support group. Because whenever I first started sharing that I was on Suboxone, you guys, I got a really mixed reaction, and I started telling people I was on Suboxone back in 2016, the latter part of 2016, and a lot of people judged me for it. A lot of people told me that I would never get sober and that I was just going to, stay on Suboxone for the rest of my life, and they just said mean stuff to me, right? Which, just judgmental shit. And I never ever thought that I would have a normal life, that I would be happy without getting high. I never thought that I would be able to come on and stay consistent and upload videos and be honest and open minded and take suggestions and be kind. I didn't ever think I was going to be able to do that. I just thought that I was going to be a drug addict for the rest of my life. I thought that I was going to die with a needle in my arm. And I'd pretty much given up hope and decided that's what was going to happen to me. And then my son was born. And when my son was born, you guys, it changed everything. He changed my life because he gave me purpose. And I love my son more than I love myself. So through my son, I have gotten a second chance at life. And my son has saved my life. And if it wasn't for him, I don't know if I'd be sober, you guys, because I just didn't care about myself enough. Now that I've been on the right track for a while, I can honestly say that I enjoy my life today and that I want to be sober. I want to live my life right. But at the beginning, it was really hard, and I didn't know if I was going to want to stay like this, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to, if I was going to make it, and I would get really depressed, and I would want to use, and I would think about using, and I would have bad days where I would wake up and I would just be crying all day long because I missed my son, because at that time he was in the state's custody, right? And so it was not easy for me to get past the first year of my sobriety. It was really difficult for me because it was like every time I was facing all these new struggles that I had never struggled with before, because I had always just gotten high and covered that shit up. Because that's what I was so good at, covering shit up. I have done that for so many years and not coped with my life. I just finally got to a point where I was going to go to treatment and I was going to change my life, and that no one was going to stop me. And I'm here to tell you that if you want to get your life together and you want to get sober, nobody will be able to stop you. You will do it. This is what happened for me. Oh, this is our bedtime story tonight. My son got taken away from me, right? July 2nd of 2014. No, July 2nd of 2015. Sorry. And the day he left, I had the caseworker drive me to a detox and drop me off there. I stayed in detox for 6 days. While I was in detox, I had the detox center call a treatment center and get me hooked up, right? At this time, I had insurance through the state, right? I didn't have like awesome insurance. It was literally Obamacare. and they found a treatment center for me to go into so I could go from detox to treatment. So listen to me. If you put your mind to it and you want to go to treatment, you can do it. I I had them call every place on the list. I had them call places that were 2 years long. I had them call places that were 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and I was willing to go in whatever treatment center was able to take me. At that time, the treatment center that took me was a 30-day treatment center. And I went in there, and at the beginning, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I was getting high. I was having my husband sneak me in Xanax bars. And then I got caught at 2 weeks. And they gave me another chance, and I stayed for another 2 weeks. And then I got out, and that's when the life hit me in the face like that. And it was like, I don't know how to stay sober. I don't know what to do. And my son they're going to take my son away from me forever if I don't get this right. If I don't stay straight, if I relapse, if I go out and start shooting up again, my son is going to be gone. They're going to give him away to another family. And so I went and got therapy. I got a doctor. I got into a meeting. I got a sponsor. I got a job. And I started really fucking doing this shit. And I didn't fucking waste any time. And that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes things that like getting our kids taken away have to happen to give us that extra push, because I needed something to push me over the edge because I was dragging ass. What is that? What is going to be your extra push? What is going to be the thing that catapults you into your recovery? You have to make that decision. You know what I'm saying? But don't let it be too late. Don't let it be too late. Because what's going to happen is you're going to do a bag and you're going to die. You know? Like, I don't think people understand the severity of addiction. Like, you're going to die. Jails, institutions, and death, right? I've been to jail. I've been to the crazy house in rehab. The next stop was death. And nowadays, the way they're lacing heroin with fentanyl and everything, you're not even going to do jails and institution. You're going to skip that shit and go straight to death. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You're dying. That's how serious it is now, you guys. So unless you want to stay out there in them streets, shooting dope, begging for money, fucking trading your body, hustling and stealing and lying and deceiving, if that's what you want to stay doing for the rest of your life and that's what makes you happy and you're enjoying that shit, I'm not judging, but I don't think that you're enjoying it. I don't think that you want to stay out there in that life. You know, you can do this. You just have to make a decision. That's what it's all about. Okay? If you get put on medically assisted treatment, you still have to make a decision. You still have to say, okay, I'm going to take my medication as prescribed. I'm going to get away from all these people that were bringing me down, who I was using dope with. I'm going to break up with Joe Smo over here, who beats my ass every day and who's still getting high. I'm going to actually listen to what my mom and dad say. Or I'm going to go to my job, pay my bills, pay my rent, and take care of my kids. You know, like, there's decisions that have to be made. You know, you have to decide to turn your back on dope. Dope doesn't have your best interest at heart, okay? Dope don't have anything for you. Addiction wants you dead. Think about all the things in your life. Think about your parents. Think about your kids. Think about your best friends. Think about your brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles. Think about all the people in your life who love you and care about you. Think about how much you have neglected them and neglected those relationships. Think about how you've ignored your kids because you wanted to get high. Think about how you didn't show up to Christmas dinner because you were too high and you didn't want your mom and dad to see you. Think about how you stole that $20 out of your mom's wallet when she wasn't looking. All these things, you can replace money, you can replace material items, but you can't replace your relationships with your family. You can't make another you. You can't make another mom or dad, a sister or brother, aunt or uncle, right? Stop wasting time in your addiction. Stop turning your back on your family. Stop trying to cope with life by not coping with life. Stop trying to hide from the truth and run from reality. Because that's what it is. Instead of running, turn around and face it. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. It's not fun. Sometimes it's hard being sober. Sometimes it's hard not being able to check out of life. I'll be the first to tell you. There's some days when I think back to when I used to pop Xanaxes all the time and how I could just float off into nothingness. And then you know what I think about? I think about how my ass would be floating off into nothingness and my son would be running around with no food to eat, no house, nobody to play with, wondering where I'm at. And I don't want that to ever happen to him. I don't want him to ever have to see me in my active addiction. Ever. So I use that as motivation to stay on the right track. And that's what you have to do. You have to find something that motivates you to make change. And you got to zero in on that shit and make a decision. You know, you got to shit or get up off the pot. You know, don't let life pass you by. Don't lose your life for heroin. Okay? Don't lose your life for alcohol, meth, pills. Your life's worth more than that. You're worth more than that. And that's what you got to start reminding yourself and realizing that you are worthy of recovery. You are worthy of everything. Nice things, a home, family, relationships, love. You are worthy of that. And until you start realizing that, you're going to continue to hurt yourself with drugs and alcohol. Because that's what it is. You don't love you. When you start loving you, you're not going to want to get high no more. It's not easy. It's a hard transition. Listen, I understand. I hated me for a long time. There's times when I still slip back into my old thinking and I think, you're not good enough. You'll never make it. You're not like everybody else. And then I have to shut those thoughts out because that's addiction trying to drag me down. That's Satan trying to tell me that I'm not worthy. Because I know that I'm worthy today. I know that I deserve my life today. I know that I'm making a difference today. I know that my son loves me. I know that my husband loves me. I know that, I'm doing something to change and make change in the world. And I'm not just sitting around with my thumb up my ass. Sometimes you got to just make change, guys. And the decision, it's making a decision. And then once you make that decision, you got to take action. Because you can't just sit and wait for recovery to happen to you. You got to go out and get that shit. You got to go to meetings, find yourself a sponsor, get involved. Get right in the middle of a group of people who are sober and say, hey guys, I want what y'all have. Can I kick it with y'all? Show me how to stay sober because I'm lost. You got to put that pride to the side. You got to ask for help. And until you do that, you're going to struggle. You're not too good to ask for help. And see, I know that you think that because I used to think that. Oh, I'm better than that. I don't need nobody. I got this. I'm telling you guys, do not let your pride stand in the way of you getting help. Because the only thing you're going to be left with when you fall is your pride. Hey girl, what are you doing? So, I just wanted to come on here and tell you guys about that because it just breaks my heart when I hear people that are struggling When all you got to do is make that decision. All you got to do is take action. All you got to do is say, you know what? I'm going to get sober. I'm going to do this. I'm going to find a place that's going to help me. I'm going to get into treatment and I'm never going to look back, right? Once you make that decision, you guys, you might have a few bumps in the road. You might relapse a couple times, but you're going to be moving forward. Make the decision and take action. Do not wait on anybody to do it for you, because nobody's going to do it for you. You have to go out and grab recovery by the balls. That's what you got to do. And once you do that and you take that action, I promise you, things will start falling into place. That's how it happened for me. It was like the craziest shit, you guys. I was a criminal. I was a homeless criminal. I was running the streets. I was sleeping over at dope boys' houses and trap houses. I was sleeping on the couches if I could, right? If somebody would let me sleep on their couch. I was dirty. I was stanking. My hair was all matted up. I had no money. I didn't have a bank account. I had track marks all over my arms, pick marks all over my face, looking like Skeletor. I mean, I'm serious, you guys. I'm so serious. Like, I understand that when you're in active addiction, that it can feel like you're at the bottom and that you're never going to get out, right? But I'm telling you, all you got to do is make a decision and then take the action. Get your phone book out and go down the line and look up every treatment center and call every fucking one. Can I come in there? You got a bed open? Can I get some help? Can I come in? Can I get some help? That's what you got to do, you guys. And you got to be persistent, because what they're looking for when you call these places is that you're serious, because so many people call and bullshit and then don't go through with it. You know, call, make the decision and take the action, you know. If you can't get into treatment for some reason, which, listen, you guys, I've gotten into treatment with no insurance. I've gotten into treatment with insurance. I've gotten into treatment for free on scholarships. I've went to treatment 5 times. Oh, I do actually, on my Instagram, you guys, if you guys go on my Instagram and go down my feed, I'll post one on my Instagram. My Instagram is at Nicole Pludre, and then I also have a Real Talk Recovery Instagram. But yes, I have pictures on there, and I just looked like Skeletor for real. Y'all will die when you see it. And my face is just like, and it's so sad. But the thing about it is you can see the darkness in my eyes. You can see that I felt like I was a soulless person. I felt like I had nothing inside of me. Do you know what I'm saying? And so when I'm coming on here and I'm telling you guys, like, you can do this, it's because I used to feel the same way. I used to say, I'm hurting my family. You know, my parents, they haven't seen me in 7 years because I would not come around. I was 32 when I got sober, you guys, okay? 32. Girl, Megan, I've been in rehab, just like you were talking about. I've been in rehab and looked at the men that were like 50 and the women that were like 45 with the scratchy, raspy voices. And I was like, oh God, I'm never going to be like that. And this is before I had started shooting up. So I really thought I was too good, you know? And then the next thing I know, there I am in there at 30 something years old with track marks all over my arms and hepatitis C, you know? I'm telling you guys, like, I was the same way, because I came from a good home. I had a nice car. I was pretty. I was popular, you know, like, for the most part. I wasn't like super popular, but y'all know what I mean. I was pretty cool. I was a cheerleader and all that stuff. You know, played on the basketball team, did fast pitch softball, and I was on the dance team, right? And so I was like not a bad looking kid, you know, and then that traveled into my adulthood with me, where I thought I was kind of like, my shit didn't stink, right? And then I started getting high, and then that attitude of my shit didn't stink got even worse. But then when you're at the bottom of the barrel, dude, and you're shooting shit into your veins and getting water out of the toilet and homeless, it's like you go down a couple notches. and you become humble, humility. When I came into recovery when I got into recovery this last time, like for real recovery, like actually getting rid of my old friends. Ladies, if you're holding on to old fucking drug friends, I'm telling you, it's not going to work. Do not get rid of them. Run away from them. I'm going to tell you, all the people that I used to shoot dope with, guess what? Guess where they're at? Dead or still shooting dope. Or in jail. My best friend who called DHS on me, guess where she's at, y'all? High in her apartment, still. Looking outside the window, thinking people are in her attic, still. Called me the other day, tripping because she thought some man was in her attic. I said, girl, quit calling me. You got to get away from those people, y'all. Get away from them. They don't want what's best for you. They have to have their own awakening. But right now, you're having yours. Get serious, you guys. Do not let this take you down. Okay? I'm not like trying to be mean or anything. I just want you guys to understand that you guys can get this shit. And you don't have to stay with all those people that are still out there. You got to want better for you. That's the thing. Like, for so long, I didn't think I deserved to have better, so I settled, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. I settled. I dated dudes who beat my ass every day. I dated dudes who got high, right? And treated me like shit. No, not anymore. I want better for me, I'm so grateful for my husband, you guys, because me and him, we were cut from the same cloth. He's just like me. He was raised right. He has a good family. He just fell down the wrong path. And we're just exactly alike. Ash, you want to hear a story? I'm the one who shot my little sister up for the first time. But my sister got sober. I'm here to tell you that you might have done that to somebody, but if you didn't do it, they were going to get somebody else to do it. I used to beat myself up while my sister was still in active addiction because I was like, I introduced her to the needle. I shot her up for the first time, right? But I'm here to tell you, now my sister's sober now.
Is Dad home?
No, not yet, but he'll be home in just a second. I told him to get donuts too. She's sober now, and you know what? She's doing so good. Oh, Nate, you're hurting my neck, buddy.
Okay.
She's doing so good. So if I sat there and let those thoughts of the things that I did to affect my sister if I let that stuff drag me down, like I would still be in my addiction right now. You know why? Because I'd be trying to cover up those feelings. A lot of things that I've done, I'm not proud of. But there's a difference between guilt and then having shame and letting that shame eat your lunch, right? We can take responsibility for the things and the mistakes we made today, but we don't have to let that stuff ruin our lives and take and make it to where we can't function and that we're going out and using drugs. We have to know that we are moving forward today and that we are better people. And that's what I had to finally start realizing is that my sister Michelle, even though I did that to her, she made that choice and that was her choice. Just like it was my choice when I did it for the first time. Give us 2 thumbs up, you guys.
You have to say that.
Subscribe to my channel before you leave. Subscribe.
Guys, I look at that.
Oh, don't hurt your back. So, did you just poo on my back?
No, that wasn't me. What did he sing?
Hey, Britt, what's up, girl? Oh, what's up? Oh, Britt sent you. What's up? I am so sorry, you guys. Anyway, sorry, y'all. That was the phone ringing. Welcome to the channel. I'm so glad you came. I'm just over here just going on a rant about getting sober and how you can do it and not to be discouraged. And it's not because I'm like ranting, I guess, but it's because I don't want you guys to die. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know a lot of you guys personally, but I don't want y'all to die. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love you guys. I was just on my Instagram, and I made a little comment, and I was talking about how the live stream that we had today was one of the best live streams I think I've ever had since I started my channel. And you guys were all talking in the comments and helping each other, and it was just, it inspires me to see you guys helping each other.
Look how tired I am.
Yeah. And so I just want you guys to know that, you know what? If you're struggling, you're not alone. I know how hard it is. I know what it feels like to think, I'm never going to get sober. How am I ever going to do this? I'm going to tell you how you're going to do it, okay? You're going to make the decision, and then you're going to take the action. So right now, in your mind, right?
It sounds weird, Mom. Watch it.
Oh. Are you going into prison? Oh, you're going into prison. So I'm trying. So are you on drugs? Oh, hey Charlie, what's up, baby? So are you on heroin right now, or what's the deal? Tell me about it. But road to prison, are you talking about? You're talking about on your channel. But here's the deal, you guys. Like, I totally understand what it's like to feel like I'm never going to get sober, right? Believe me. But when you're saying that, you're making up your own mind, right? You have to stop talking negatively like that to yourself and say, no, I'm going to get sober. I'm going to change my life. I'm going to do the next right thing. I'm going to get into treatment, right? And so honey, I know all about that. You have to make that decision. And once you guys make that decision, then I'm serious. You got to make up your mind though, in the inside, and get real focused on, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to change my life, and I'm going to get sober, right? Don't let anything else get in your way. But then what I do after I made that decision, like I was telling you guys earlier, is I reached out and I got into treatment. Okay. I got into treatment. Hey, Road to Prison. My friend, Avalon has a channel, and it's called Kratom for Recovery. And she actually talks all about how she like mixes it and drinks. She does like all kinds of concoctions over there, and it helps her like cause she just got tapered off Suboxone. But she talks a lot about it over there. I'm not on Kratom or anything, but I'm tapering off Suboxone right now. But I'm trying to just like taper off Suboxone and then be done with it. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, it's like I get addicted to everything. So it's like I just add it to my list. You know what I mean? If I feel like that if I started taking Kratom when I come off Suboxone, then I would just end up taking Kratom all the time. You know what I mean? So I just have to be really careful, because basically everything I do is abusive. You know, I have potential to be abusing it. So anyways, you guys, I just wanted to come on here and give you guys some inspiration and let you know that if you make a decision and you make your mind up inside your mind and in your heart that you want to make the change to get sober, that you can do it. And that if you guys ever need help and you need, just like, if you want me to help you, I will get on the phone with you and we can call around to different treatment centers and find you somewhere to go, right? That will help you get in the right direction. But I'm telling you right now, you got to make up your mind, right? That's what I had to do, y'all. I had to make up my mind, and then I had to start putting one foot in front of the other, going the way that I needed to go. Not backwards, because that's what happens. We get discouraged, we get tripped up, maybe some trolls come over, maybe we got some drama with people over here, you know. Oh yeah, just email me at, my email is in the About Me section of my channel. If you'll email me, I would absolutely love to collab with you. I love collaborating with people, and absolutely anytime I just want you guys to know that if you start getting focused and put one foot in front of the other, you can make the changes. And I just don't want you to be discouraged. What happens is sometimes we have to get focused and take little goals, okay? Little goals and achieve them one after the other. So if your main goal, it's demeon@yahoo.com. It's in the description and it's in the about me of this channel. If you guys start taking little goals one at a time and then smashing those goals, right? One goal at a time. So if your main objective is to get sober, right? What you need to do is you need to pick that apart and say, okay, my main goal is to get sober. Now, once you figure that out, what do I have to do to get sober? If that is go to treatment and get a sponsor and go to meetings, then you go, okay, first I need to start calling treatment centers. Or if your objective is to get sober and you want to go about it to get on medically assisted treatment, then you need to start getting on the phone, right? And calling people about getting on treatment or getting it on medically assisted treatment. Or if you want to get sober and you're like, this is the way I'm going to do it. I can't go to treatment. I can't go to rehab. I'm just going to cold turkey. Then you need to make a quit date and start then. Do you hear what I'm saying, you guys? You know what? Y'all will be looking out for me tomorrow. I'm going to go live tomorrow at noon, and we're going to talk about how to make the decision and how to start to get sober. Okay? So I love you guys so much. Charlie, why don't you text message me full on my phone? You got my number, and help me with that newsletter thing.